Hello and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. Well, we're continuing our journey through Scripture. We're still in Matthew chapter 10, and today we're going to look at verses 11 through 15. So it's quite a few verses, however they are fairly short, which is why I'm doing more than our 2 to 3 verse rule. So here we go. We're going to look at Matthew chapter 10, verses 11 through 15, which say, "Whatever town or village you enter, find out who in it is worthy, and stay there until you leave. As you enter the house, greet it. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, shake off the dust from your feet as you leave that house or town. Truly I tell you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town." So pretty interesting words here. So Jesus is telling the disciples that whoever welcomes you, pretty much bless their home, give them a blessing. Whoever doesn't welcome you, withhold that. So pretty interesting. So how about this business of knocking the dust off your feet when you leave a town? And of course, Jesus is telling his disciples this if people don't welcome them. And shaking the dust, the Palestinian Jews shook dust from their sandals when leaving Gentile territory upon entering back into the Holy Land, upon entering back into Israel. It wasn't a nice statement. It was quite derogatory against the uncleanliness of Gentiles. So the ancient Jews viewed Gentiles as pagans because they didn't worship the God of Israel in most cases. And here Jesus is commanding a similar gesture to signify his judgment of those who reject the gospel. So I think that's the key. Jesus isn't saying, he's not saying to reject those who aren't going to listen to you. He's kind of doing a play on words. He's signifying judgment here. Excuse me. Eternal judgment for those who reject the gospel. He's not saying to disrespect or demean those people who are rejecting it, but it's a play on words that signifies their soul, their eternal destination, if you will, if they hear the gospel and willingly reject it. So that's the key in these verses. And as far as Sodom and Gomorrah, that's in verse 15, they say those who reject the gospel are going to be in a worse scenario than those who were in Sodom and Gomorrah. And of course, as we all know in the Old Testament, Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by fire because of their wickedness. And thus it's the same way for those who hear the gospel and willingly reject it. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me in this edition of the Daily Bible Podcast. Thank you for joining me each and every day. I truly do appreciate it, and I truly love going through Scripture and doing this journey with you all. If you have any questions, comments, prayer requests, please email me at hopewithin18@gmail.com. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.